here, Kim and Laura.
Hello.
Just another day of brainstorming or getting together.
Brainstorming here at Panera, or you may call it Pandora or Panora.
Yeah, I'm not naming names, but somebody here
May have a
Pandora.
I did call it.
Yeah. So, okay, there you go. Product placement as your notebook flies away. Great.
Today we want to talk about creative brainstorming. We're going to talk about just 4 or 5 points on what we think makes for a creative brainstorming session.
Yes. All right. First of all, there's not live music here. It's just a really loud radio in case you hear it. Really sorry about that. And secondly, I want to tell you what you can't see right now, and that is that there's this huge window, and people are watching us out the window. Yeah, our fans. There's a huge window, and all the Panera, all the Panera customers are watching us as we do this.
That's right.
All right, so we have 5 points. Point number 1, we're calling BOLO, which means be on the lookout. Constantly be on the lookout of ways to be creative and what you can use in your lessons or in your creativity.
We're all in BOLO mode.
We are
always
in BOLO.
Always in BOLO mode. Looking around to see what we can use with our own counseling program and helping others. So,
yeah. And Kim has a great story about a time when I was inspired by her BOLO-ness.
I did not know. I shared this BOLO story with her, but I have kept a book that my aunt, who taught for 50 years, bequeathed to me, if you will. And it's an old book, and I wish I had it to show. So I made to send a picture so you can get it up. It's called Strange Fish, and I was obsessed with this book as a little girl. And in the book, it just talks about really different kinds of fish. And as I read that book again to my son, I was thinking about how the fish characteristics could really be compared to characteristics that we want to build in our students. So I created a lesson, and you never know what you're going to read that's going to inspire you to have a BOLO moment. And speaking of books that have inspired, I believe that you have shared one with me that has really inspired you. So first point was BOLO, and she's going to tell you about something that's inspired her. It's our second point, and our second point is no idea is off limits. That's our motto.
Yep. I read a book recently called The Disney Way. I think maybe we should try to work Disney into our talks every single time, because I referenced Disney last time we did a video.
Okay, very good.
So that's a goal.
That is a goal.
Okay.
That's an important goal.
Anyway, it's called The Disney Way, and it just talks about how Disney runs their company, runs their business, and they applied those principles to several different companies and some schools to make the school system run a little bit more fun or efficiently. And that was one of their major things. No ideas off limits. Nothing is too big. When my husband and I went to Disney World last year, I said, what a company this would be to work for, where they say, hey, stay with me here, but I want to project a movie onto the castle. Or, I don't know, just no ideas off limits. And so I love to be around big idea people like that.
Another point is to be around people who, another element is to be around people who are like-minded and who can help you to take an idea and build on that idea. And so when we're together, we have our pen and our paper, and we're, Laura may have an idea, and then I'll say, oh, and then this, and then there's this, and we just keep building and building and building on that. And not all of those ideas are going to stick.
Yeah. Well, just today we were in a little planning meeting with our supervisor, and she had ideas that we hadn't thought of. We had ideas that she hadn't thought of, and so we just worked really well together as a team. We were talking about ecology, which
we're going to do a little thing on that at a conference that's coming up.
Yeah.
And so we were.
And I know nothing about ecology, nothing. Right. But we were like, she had a piece of it, I had a piece of it, but together we were excited and getting each other excited about the topic of ecology. So that's Point number 3 is get together with like-minded people.
Yep.
Point number 4, and you referenced it a minute ago, is build on an idea. So find something, and I think take it back to the basics of brainstorming, where you've got a cloud, you put the central idea in that cloud, and then you just think of all the words that are associated with that idea, or all the different
Parts of that
idea.
idea.
Yeah. And they talked about this in that book, The Disney Way, where they would get together for a planning session, and they had storytellers and they had artists. And so somebody would throw out an idea, and the storytellers would start telling stories to go with that idea. And the artists would start drawing whatever the storytellers were talking about. And so you really need to read it to see how they came up with Blizzard Beach, because that was an idea. Somebody said, wouldn't it be so cool if it could snow in Florida? And I've been in so many different groups where people would say, oh, that's stupid. It would never happen. You can't do that. But they just said, okay, let's go with that. And one of the things they said was we throw out every idea. We throw every idea on the wall and see what sticks, which goes to the next point, which is
take out what doesn't work. So not every idea works, but you just kind of, once you're, whatever you're trying to, whether it's a lesson or a project or whatever or for us getting ready for this conference, whatever, not everything that we came up with today is going to work for that conference, but we had all those ideas, and then we could pick and choose what would work. So not every idea works, but it's okay, and that may work for another time. Some things we're putting a pin in and saying, okay, we could come back to that later.
Yeah.
So not all of them are going to work for that particular time.
Yeah. And Kim and I both have a book that we just keep with us. I keep my book with me at all times, because you never know if you're on bolo mode, if you're constantly boloing,
yes,
then you don't know when you're going to be inspired. So I keep my book with me and just write things down as they come to me.
Or put it in your notes.
Well, that's true.
Which I do because I'm hip.
You're more tech
Okay.
savvy. Yeah.
So our last point is, which we have done to death, which is laugh today.
Yes.
So I think that I just feel those happy cells blooming and bursting forth when you're laughing and having fun. And I think that's so important to creativity, is just to be with somebody that makes you laugh and have a good time. So that's part of it. Good food.
And good food.
Here at Panora.
And it just so happened we wore our cute school counselor shirts in. It says, if you think my hands are full, you should see my heart. Anyway, we wore these in to Panera, and the manager, Amy, said thank you for the job that you do, and that goes out to all of you guys too.
Yeah,
she
it
said,
felt good to hear that.
Yeah, it did. And she said you do something that other people can't do, don't know how to do, and she said I just really appreciate the work you do. And the best part was she gave us a free pastry of our choice.
Whatever. And you chose a
chocolate chip muffle.
A muffle.
It was the top of a muffin.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually really good. So
I had the lemon cookie, and it was very, very good. So, hey, we rarely get that where people tell us what a great job.
But I'm all about food. I always say food is my love language.
So, anyway, you're doing a
Amy
great job.
My love language.
Go have a muffle.
Muffle.
Yeah, muffle.